shell struck the robot's chest with pinpoint accuracy. Severely damaged, the robot was declared scrap, but its creator, Dean, quietly removed the wreckage. He intended to develop a second-generation model. Moments after leaving, Dean was intercepted by gang members. It turned out the gang leader wanted to transform this robot into a killing machine. Under duress, Dean had no choice but to reassemble the robot. He inserted the activation key and wrote a brand new artificial intelligence system. Thus, the robot Chappie was born. But Chappie's current mindset resembled that of a human newborn. So Dean nurtured Chappie using methods for educating human toddlers. The gang leader was furious upon seeing this. He had intended to train Chappie as a robotic assassin. The leader then dumped Chappie into the chaotic slums. Thugs hurled stones at him. After confirming Chappie wouldn't retaliate, they grew even more brazen. Chappie was terrified and quickly fled the area. However, not long after Chappie was captured again, the scientists dismantled Chappie's parts and seized the key. Chappie fought desperately to break free from his restraints and then jumped off the vehicle. Chappie escaped back to the gang's base. They hurriedly replaced Chappie's parts with brand new ones. After this incident, Chappie's mindset also changed. He began learning how to protect himself. To test Chappie, the leader falsely claimed someone had stolen his car. Chappie believed him and smashed the car to pieces with an iron bar. This marked Chappie's first crime. The gang then decided to rob an armored truck. With Chappie's assistance, the plan proceeded smoothly. Just as they were celebrating, Chappie's programming suddenly crashed. Dean immediately took Chappie back to the lab. He detected that a malicious program had been implanted in Chappie's system. He immediately rebooted Chappie's control system. Chappie's consciousness returned. The two were about to leave. Chappie spotted a giant robot in the lab. The robot's name was Moose. It needed to be equipped with a neural interface to read human thoughts. Upon hearing this, Chappie asked Dean to use it to replace his body. His battery was about to run out, but Chappie had already developed self-awareness, making a consciousness transfer impossible. Unwilling to accept this, Chappie took the neural interface. He connected his brain to the network and began studying the device. Meanwhile, Dean discovered that the malware had been planted by one of his colleagues. But news of Chappie's robbery sparked public outrage. The man immediately proposed sending Moose to destroy Chappie. The robotics company agreed, so the man put on a control helmet and directed Moose to fly toward the gang's camp. Dean rushed over, hoping Chappie would make a quick getaway. Suddenly, a massive roar echoed through the air. Moose landed right in the center of the camp. He immediately launched an indiscriminate attack. The base was blown to smithereens. Moose even used cluster missiles weapons, typically reserved for wartime. At the critical moment, Chappie leaped forward and plunged a knife into Moose. A bomb was strapped to that knife. Moose realized Chappie's intention and concentrated his fire to shoot down the detonator. But Chappie, disregarding the danger, crawled over and picked up the detonator. Moose was blown to pieces, but Dean was also seriously injured in the chaos. Chappie immediately carried the dying Dean to the lab. He fitted Dean with a neural interface. Once the program was activated, Dean's consciousness began to transfer. Dean also became a robot, but Chappie's power was about to run out. Dean immediately had Chappie put on a helmet. He intended to remotely transmit Chappie's consciousness. Soon, Chappie lost consciousness. Dean then set out to find Chappie using the location data. Just then, a robot stood up. It was Chappie, who had been given a new body.